Karen Sheldon's Training's Future Stars program as a part of VTEC. Graduated a number of Indigenous students in recognition of completing the Future Stars Indigenous Employment course. Karen Sheldon and her staff spoke about the success of the program and how it will change their students' future in the workforce.
I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of this land, the Larrakia, and extend our respects to elders past and present, and also acknowledge all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people that are here today. All of our graduations are special to us, however this one is slightly more special as this group represents the first graduates of our VTEC, our Vocational Training and Employment Centre, and we're super proud of what they've accomplished over the last 7 weeks. It's been a very, very busy time for us. This is the first time that we've ever run a Future Stars training course over the dry season, or over this part of the dry season that we do the V8s, the catering side of the company does the V8s. And I think just about everyone participated, including all of us, in either prepping for or working at the V8s. And I think we can say 6 weeks later that we had a ball, hey, we might not have said that at the time. So we all appreciated that opportunity as well. I'd just like to take a second to also thank the directors of Karen Sheldon Catering, Amanda Swift and Sarah Hickey, and their team. They provide so many opportunities for our future stars through all of the functions and events that they cater for, and it's just such a great experience for future stars to be able to be at a lot of those events. The most recent event, which was a Darwin Turf Club one, which was last week, most of this crew was lucky enough to be working in the Ladies' Day marquee at the Darwin Turf Club. So I think whoever was there had a good time, yeah. So that was great. It has been 7 weeks now of training and work and getting ready for the next phase, which is employment. And a few of our graduates can't be here today because they're actually already working. And each one of them will be transitioning over the next week or so into the jobs that they've chosen out of the amazing selection that we have these days. So we're very, very lucky to be working with some fantastic employers, and I think that as many opportunities as we can offer will be extending to these guys here. I'd like to now just take 1 second to quickly introduce my team, which I think we're all grateful that they're around. You guys want to come out? Yeah. So start with Nicole, hand up. This is Nicole, our operations manager. Jodie's our business development manager and also loves doing all of our brain training and our training courses. Our mentors, Keely here and Rachel, who are still so enthusiastic about what they do, and they've been doing it for such a long time. Couldn't do it without them. Martina's in charge of our functions crew, past and present future stars that participate in functions all over Darwin. And Susie, hand up, is our, what we call our Future Stars logistics manager. So she takes care of making sure that our Future Stars courses go off. Lorraine Kerrigan is on holidays at the moment. She's our trainer, so unfortunately she can't be with us, but I'm sure from sunny Queensland she's wishing that she was. And John Leader is one of our trainers as well. He works out of Melbourne, but we have him going to lots of different places to do whatever he needs to do to make all of this happen as well. We work very closely with the catering side of the company too, and we have our fantastic Jessica just here, who's in charge of marketing as well, who's always up in front of us with a camera. I'd like to, which we do at every graduation, just take 1 minute to quickly thank family of our participants. There's a lot of obligation that our participants owe to their families, and for family and friends to release them for this amount of time, day in, day out. is something that we're super grateful for. We probably couldn't do it without their support. So I think we all say yes, thank you to our families for being supportive as well. I'd also like to thank all of our employers that are here, but I'm just going to introduce Karen. Karen will speak a bit more about our employers, and then we'll get the formal part. Ready? Yep, going? Excellent. Karen Sheldon, thank you.
Thank you very much, Stevie. I'd just like to also thank Stevie for going so far above and beyond the work of a normal CEO of a company. Stevie lives and breathes our program. I can send her an email at midnight or 2 a.m. and 5 minutes later an answer will come back, so I don't think she actually sleeps. But Stevie and I used to work together when I had my first restaurant in Darwin way back in the 1990s. And Stevie was one of my first function manager. And after I sold that restaurant and Stevie moved on to run the hospitality at the Turf Club for 8 years, she then got a little bit tired of hospitality because she'd been in it all her life. Her parents had one of the most famous restaurants in Darwin many years ago. Stevie decided to challenge herself with something totally new, and she decided to take on real estate, which was something that she'd never even experienced. It was very daunting for her, but of course, in true Stevie fashion, she tackled it boots and all, just like we talk about doing with anything you do in life. And before long, Stevie was one of the Millionaires Club of LJ Hooker and had been through all the real estate training on how to sell houses. And I guess that's why Stevie's so good at what she does, because she's bringing that, not only her hospitality background, but her sales professionalism to our program. Because really what we're doing is selling. Our aim in life, the whole ethos of Karen Sheldon Catering, that started out as a tiny little catering company in Barrow Creek and Tennant Creek in the middle of the Northern Territory, and has evolved into what we now call a SME, an SME, and we're tending to be a little bit more onto the medium side of the small to medium enterprise these days, and we're about to grow a little bit bigger very shortly, as we all know, quietly. But our job is to ensure that we provide every opportunity and take every chance we get to promote the amazing work ethic that these people have once they rediscover their own self-esteem and their sense of empowerment, and to help each and every Indigenous person that we come into contact with to achieve their own personal best, their own dreams and visions. And we know that there's many wonderful dreams and visions that this group in front of you have got. As Stevie said, this is our first opportunity to graduate a group of VTEC participants. VTEC means Vocational Training and Employment Program. It's the program that has been, that's replaced other Indigenous employment programs. It's the new way of looking at Indigenous employment opportunities, and it's all about the job. And for us, having so many wonderful employers on board in this program has meant that our opportunities to showcase the abilities of people and to indeed place them in employment have grown exponentially since we became the pilot VTEC provider. VTECs are going to be growing all over Australia, and we know that our Future Stars VTEC program is going to be one of the leading lights in that, and it's going to give us a national voice in showing the rest of Australia how to transition some of the most highly disadvantaged Indigenous people in our land into jobs and careers that will give them the excitement to get out of bed in the morning and love their job. And that's what we're all on about. So we'd like to particularly thank the employers that have come on board since the VTEC, and indeed employers that have worked long term with us in our Indigenous employment programs over the last 5 or 6 or 7 years since we've been doing this. I'd like to make mention of Hilton Hotels, who have come on board as a sponsor of our program throughout the Northern Territory. We're very grateful to Hilton and grateful to the opportunities they're giving us here in Darwin, and also grateful to them for the opportunities they're giving us in Alice Springs. In fact, our Alice Springs VTEC will be launched on the 11th of August, and we're going to be actually based inside the Doubletree by Hilton in Alice Springs, which is absolutely exciting for us. Because the Future Stars program is not a training program, it's a jobs program. And so we don't like to do our training in classrooms, we like to do our training in the middle of the chaos of industry. We know the hospitality industry, that's why we use hospitality as a base for our work, but the Future Stars program is all about helping Indigenous people find the job that suits them best. Some people will start in hospitality and may stay in hospitality. Other people will move into many other industries. They might move into driving the big trucks in mining. They might move into any kind of work helping Indigenous people to achieve the same goals they're working on. They might move into ranger work. They might move into landscaping or gardening work. They might move into any of the professions, and like nursing or medical professions, or any of the trades. They might become plumbers, electricians. These people have the world at their feet, and it's up to us to provide the small steps and the pathways that are going to help them to achieve their goals, and even to tease out their goals that might have been subdued in all the other things that have been going on in their lives. So that's what Future Stars is all about, that's what VTEC's all about, and I'd particularly like to thank the new employers that have come on board recently with us. I'd like to make mention of Elan Hotels, who we're very excited we've even got workers at the moment helping to get the new hotel ready for its launch. So right getting in there on the ground floor with programs, working with many, many different employers, and just showing the talents of our Indigenous workforce that's right here in front of us. We started a program, I've been speaking at some forums about the new science of workforce development that's going on at the moment, and people have suddenly decided across the world that that employment and workforce development is actually a science now, and HR managers will appreciate that, because they know how much work and how much what the technical side of human resources are. But one of the things that the platforms that we used when we were talking at different forums is that tomorrow's workforce is right here in front of us in the Northern Territory. So many wonderful Indigenous people that haven't been able to gain a foothold in the workforce are now being encouraged to show what they can do and to step out of comfort zones of the past and to take the plunge into new opportunities. So I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you sitting there today. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. There's a very nervous person just sitting over here. Come over here. Come over here. Cheryl's one of my new housekeepers. She is a star, an absolute star. And she is so nervous, and she doesn't need to be. The work that she's putting into our hotel at the moment for our opening is just amazing. We're Darwin's newest hotel. We're opening down at the end of Wood Street. We're around 300 rooms. You've started cleaning them. What's it like?
Hard, Jacko.
But is it worthwhile?
Yeah.
And would you have gotten that chance had you not done this? What's the best thing about it?
paid workout.
Paid workout. One of our lifts has been broken, so these poor girls are carting things up 6 levels of stairs until they get to the next lift. It's quite amazing to see them work. You can take a seat. It's all good. She was just so nervous. As Karen has mentioned, sorry, you can get me later in the office. She knows where I sit. As Karen's mentioned, I've been very fortunate to work with Karen Sheldon over the years, and whilst there's positives and negatives, the positives always outshine the negatives, and we're so fortunate to have someone like this in the Northern Territory. You are a star. But so are the mentors and the staff and things. Never a problem. Pick up the phone. They're always there for you. We're very, very lucky. And you guys, whilst you're all looking a little bit nervous because you think I'm going to pick on you as well, I'm not. You've taken the first step to a fantastic career, whether it be us at Elan or the fantastic guys over at Hilton. You're really taking the first step towards a fantastic career. There is no better career than hospitality. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So, thank you for your time.
As mentioned, the Hilton Hotel has thrown their sponsorship behind our program, and I'd like to invite David Wells, the NTHR manager of the Hilton Group, to come up now and maybe say a couple of words, and we'll start the presentation. Thank you, David.
Thanks, Karen. Thanks very much. The Hilton Worldwide Group have only been in the Northern Territory for about 14 months, but we're very, very proud to be working with Karen Sheldon Training and our First Australians to provide local work opportunities and change the mix in our workforce from one which is very dependent on visa workers to one that is employing local talent and local people who really can add a fantastic value to our business. So we're very pleased, and I'm very happy to be here today to support all of you. So congratulations. We look forward to working with some of you and many of you over the years. So thank you very much.
Cheryl Bolt, our little bolt of lightning, up here to say a few words on behalf of the participants.
Good morning, everyone. I'd just like to, on behalf of all the participants, thank first of all Karen Sheldon and the great staff we've been so blessed to have had assisted us throughout the course. I'd also like to thank all the employers involved that's given us the opportunity to be in the positions we're in now, and also the JSAs. I'd like to thank those, and I'd like to finish off with, gonna get all emotional now. I'd like to thank the rest of the participants for making this a great experience, and everyone's been such a good team, and I think we're so blessed. I feel so blessed to have shared this with all you guys and had such good mentors and staff to work with. And I'm actually going to miss them, even though it's good to be on board now with Alan. And also the other good thing about being with you guys is it's like one big family and they're a great team to work with. But yes, thank you very much for the opportunity that we've been given.
Just one other group of people we really need to thank is we really need to thank the ever-thinning Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet. I think we've got some representatives there for the work they've done with us to help us to gain our VTEC contract. We all know that all Indigenous employment programs have been under huge scrutiny. In fact, the Andrew Forrest review will be coming out fairly soon, we're reliably informed, and there's going to be a lot of changes to Indigenous employment programs throughout Australia. We're very grateful that we've had the chance to show what the Future Stars program can do, because we know from the past successes and from the increasing success that we're having now that we are a VTEC, we know that once we can get the whole of Australia thinking the same way, that it won't be very long before every Indigenous person has the opportunities that every other Australian has had in this country. And particularly in the Northern Territory, where there's so much growth going on, so many jobs available, our mission is to do the backpackers out of a job, just for a little while we get all Indigenous workers into, as David so succinctly put it. So thank you so much. Thank you also to the Northern Territory Government. I see representatives of the Northern Territory Government here. We're very, very grateful, particularly to Madam Speaker, for always letting us have our graduations here at Parliament House. We're very grateful to all the members of the Ministry of the Northern Territory Government who've been very supportive of our Future Stars program, and very supportive of other programs we've been involved and will be involved in the future. And also the Northern Territory Government in the Department of Business, that's always been very supportive of us and assists with many programs that can add value to the Future Stars program. Thank you also personally from me to all the family and friends that assist our participants so much on their journey. Sometimes when you've got so many things going on in your family and things aren't always going as well as you would hope they are, it's very hard to come to work and put on your work face, your happy smiling face. No matter what your job is, you need to put on a positive face when you come to work, because if you're down, then all your fellow workers will be down. So to be able to give your very best performance, it's important to be able to put on your work face and come to work, no matter what you've left behind, to come to work bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And so it's particularly pleasing when we see family and friends actually sending so many people or referring so many of their family members to our program. That's when we know that it really is working, because more than 50% of our referrals these days for new participants come from family and friends or people that have done our previous courses. And that's where we know that we are actually being able to help people, and people are recognising that this program works, and that the jobs are there and the people that are there to help, and all we need to do is link everybody together. So thank you again to everybody that's come today. We're now going to ask you to stay around and enjoy some of our Kakadu plum punch, and also to enjoy a brilliant luncheon that's been prepared by the participants. And thank you all for the hard work in preparing the luncheon yesterday and today, and it looks stunning. So some of you would like to go upstairs now with Susie and bring the lunch down. It's down already. Oh my God, look at the efficiency of it. It's down there already. So well done everybody, and on to the future.
Karen Sheldon's Future Stars Indigenous Employment Program helps their students in completing the course and learning the skills needed to work in the hospitality industry. Most of the graduates will go on to full-time employment and on to start their careers.